Transit Accessibility Subcommittee meeting on Tuesday, October 14th to order.
Alrighty. And then I guess we can start with the introductions.
Yes. And you are recording, correct?
Yes, the recording has begun.
Okay. Yes, if we could start introducing the county staff.
Sure. Hello, everybody. My name is Rocco Visconti. I am one of the associate planners for Arlington Transit. I work on the Arlington Transit bus system and the STAR paratransit system. And then next we have Clinton Edwards.
Good evening, everyone. Clinton Edwards. I serve as the Transit Services Manager.
All right, and then we have Josh Drucker.
Good evening. My name is Josh Drucker, and I'm the Transit Technology Manager.
Great. And then I think we'll do We Drive You. Next, we have Ashley.
Good evening, Ashley Fernandez, General Manager with We Drive You.
Great. And then we have Marshall.
Good afternoon. My name is Marshall King, another General Manager with We Drive You.
Great. And then we have Luis.
Good afternoon, Luis Flores. I'm an Operation Manager at Highland, Virginia.
Great. And then we have Leslie Stone.
Hi, I'm Leslie Stone, and I work in our Customer Success Department at We Drive You.
Great. And then we have the Star Call Center. We have Sheila.
Good afternoon. Sheila Hill, General Manager for the Star Call Center.
Great. And Mary.
Good afternoon. I'm Mary Blyther, Customer Service Representative at the Star Call Center.
And we also have Emily.
Hi, everyone. My name is Emily Rulo-Spanik, and I am a Partner Success Manager at Spare.
Great. And that's everyone on the county side.
Okay. Thank you very much, Rocco. And thank everyone for coming, from the county staff to the providers to the call center. We appreciate your valuable time and expertise. We're ready for public. Oh, well, no, we got, let's introduce the members of the subcommittee. I'm Kent Keyser, standing in for Roseanne Ashby. We have other members of the subcommittee.
Yeah, sure. I can go down the list in alphabetical order.
Yeah,
next we have Cynthia.
Cynthia Johnson Oliver, present.
Thank you. And then Daniel.
Yeah, this is Daniel, committee member and STAR user.
Great. And then Judy.
And I'm Judy Dixon, committee member and STAR user.
Great. And then Rebecca.
Rebecca Bridges.
All right. And I think that is everybody from the subcommittee.
Okay. Rocco, I managed to get on by phone.
Oh, perfect.
It's Roseanne.
Thanks, Roseanne.
Thank you so much. I'm so sorry. I just struggling a little bit.
Okay.
Do we have a quorum, Rocco?
I believe we do.
Okay. And should I begin at the beginning, or has somebody already announced that this is being recorded?
Yeah, we already did the notice of recording and called the meeting to order, and we just did the introductions of the county staff and the subcommittee.
Wonderful. Okay, so I guess we're ready for public comment. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. So are there members of the public online that would like to make a comment? You have 2 to 3 minutes, excuse me, and we'd love to hear from you. Do we have anyone out there who would like to speak? Well, that's just unusual. So I guess I'm not hearing anyone. So I'm guessing we'll go ahead.
Roseanne?
Yes, Ken, please.
I'm wondering what notice went out to the public for the meeting.
Well, there was a notice there was a notice, I believe, that was issued according to the public notice rules. Rocco, was that about 2 weeks ago? I don't know.
There was a public notice issued, but then the email to the STAR users, the email didn't go out until yesterday because I needed to attach the finalized agenda. But so yeah.
So we were delinquent getting things out in a timely way, and that might have something to do with it. Are there members of the public online who are not wishing to speak, perhaps?
Hi,
Or
this
do you
is
not?
Janine Morgan.
Oh,
Sure.
Janine. Well,
Yeah,
Janine, would you like to say a few words?
Sure, happy to say a few words. And sorry, I had audio issues in the background in terms of they just decided to start doing leaf collection. So my comments are that, I am a STAR user. I'm blind. And I typically use the service to go to work and go to medical appointments. And those are really the only uses that I make of the service. And I am still having very significant issues with timeliness of transportation. I don't like to only provide negative comments. So I will say that my experience with the drivers is always very positive. My experience with the operators at the call center, always very positive. But the key issue for me is the timeliness of the transportation. And the other thing I'll say is that the app that has been introduced is a little bit wonky, and it goes down from time to time. And one of the challenges that I have is when I try to use it to schedule rides, from time to time, it simply won't offer me any ride options, which seems very odd to me. And I also don't find the comment options to provide feedback very helpful. And I'd like there to be some kind of a mechanism where I could actually provide feedback to improve the functioning of the app. And there really isn't a formalized process for that. And so I'd appreciate knowing how I could best do that to actually get some recommendations, and that might prove helpful to the riders who are able to use the app.
Janine, thank you for those comments. We have definitely discussed some of those issues here, and we're hoping to hear some updates tonight. Can I just ask, though, when you experience late rides, is it typically on a We Drive You vehicle, or is it on a user, or is it on both?
It is always on a We Drive You vehicle, and some of the time it is in the morning during the rush hour, but most frequently it is in the evening.
Okay.
Sometime between 5:30 and 6:30 typically, and there just does not seem to be enough driver capacity at that time.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Okay, again, we have heard similar comments from others, but I very much appreciate hearing your feedback tonight. Do we have
Roseanne?
anyone else? Yes, Kent, I'm sorry.
I actually have a comment, Roseanne.
And who is this?
This is Tamara Rory.
Oh, okay, Tamara.
I really believe that there needs to be more training for the user drivers. Many of them do not know or understand that a blind patron is not going to identify them, that they need to identify themselves. And then, once they do, they are very courteous and everything, but it is very hard to find them. Half the time they're parked in the parking lot somewhere, and they don't identify themselves as the driver. And if there's more than one person outside, it's very easy to walk up to the wrong person and think you're getting in that person's car instead of the service. The second thing I'll mention is that as a dog user, I've gotten U-Serve before, and I understand there's some kind of policy about that, which I disagree with. But if, oftentimes I'm told that there's no notification that I'm a dog user, and there is a notification, but it's obscure. It says ANM on the report that they get, and they don't know what that means. I mean, if you're going to put AMN for service animal, it's easy enough to just put dog, because there's no other service animal that would probably be riding. And that's still the same 3 letters. That would really help people know that they are picking up someone with a service animal. I get questioned quite often saying, do they know you have a service animal? Like, yes, and it's on my record.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe there needs to be some etiquette training about how to, identify yourself to a driver, a patron who is blind.
Now, just for clarification purposes, when we have Uber, a regular Uber ride, there's a way to identify, the license plate. There's a phone number for the driver. In the app that Star is using, there is no way for us to identify or to get that information. Is that correct? I want to make sure I understand, because I have not used the app too much.
I know that it is on the profile. When I point out to the drivers that it is on there, they'll say, "Oh, it's down at the bottom. It says A&M." Well, my point about the and so that's about the dog, but they need to just know that they're picking up people with disabilities. That means that they should be looking for a person with some kind of disability and identifying themselves aggressively or more assertively to that person.
I absolutely agree with what you're saying. I was just trying to figure out whether in the app, as in the Uber app, there's any identifying information on the driver or the vehicle that is coming in the Star app. And I don't know the answer to that.
There is. They tell you. But that doesn't
usually
help. I mean, they tell you it's a silver Toyota, but if you don't, if you're a blind
Toyota
person,
and the person's name is blah, and this is the license number, I can't see any of that. And I know the guy's name.
And is there a way to contact the driver as there is in the Uber app? Or
No.
Okay, so that's the deficiency then too. But I mean, I completely agree. Go ahead.
Well, you can call sir. You can call Star if they're open, and if they're not, it rolls over, and then they have to call and tell the person you're looking for a blind person. I mean, but that's inefficient.
Right. It is inefficient. Someone else was trying to speak. Yes, Kent.
Yes, ma'am. In the contract or the agreement, I'm not sure that's the contract, but in the county agreement with the providers, there is a clause talking about a information portal for passenger description, and it seems like that could be conveyed in the app to the driver somehow.
It
so
should
that
be.
If you are blind, or perhaps deaf, or in a wheelchair, using a wheelchair, those kind of things could be put in the app, so the driver would be looking low for wheelchair users, or seeing if a person is blind or perhaps deaf. So I think those are important considerations.
I think that they're, whatever they have, oftentimes the driver just doesn't see it. They get a display telling them where to go, who to pick up, and a name, but they don't necessarily see other information that may actually be there. I think if they were thinking in terms of I'm picking up a person with a disability in the first place,
Yeah.
Maybe I'm sorry. I was just going to suggest, this is Rebecca, that maybe We Drive You could speak to this at, as the meeting goes on or at some appropriate point, Roseanne, about
That's
the,
yeah.
the, yeah, the type
We
of
drive you
training that they receive.
that they give because we drive you is not the problem. It's you serve.
Well,
Yeah,
I
the we
understand,
drive
but
you
We Drive
drivers.
You,
Yeah.
you serve as a subcontractor to We Drive You. So We Drive You is responsible for
Okay.
training you serve in my estimation, based on what I know of the
Right.
contract. Is that accurate, Clint?
That is the reality of it, as far as I know. And there needs to be a mechanism to give feedback on this app. And I recall at one of our previous meetings, there was a county staff person, I believe it was Josh, who was going to be looking into those kinds of issues. And I don't know if he's here tonight since I missed the roll call.
I think he is, but no one from that group
Hi,
is
yes.
speaking.
Okay.
I am here tonight.
Okay.
But with any previous complaints that were sent my way, I did look into and reach back out to the individuals who sent them to me. So I haven't received any new complaints with any recurring issues.
Right.
But
Well,
I don't think that's the question, though.
Yeah, I think
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Rebecca.
Well,
Go
I was
ahead.
just gonna say, there are issues overall with USERV training. The whole, the ones that were brought up here, but the whole thing with the coupons. I mean, it could take them 30 minutes to enter them into the into the app and get the trip unlocked. And when I sat at Burke Lake Park for 30 minutes a few weeks ago waiting for them to do this. So I'm just saying, there are significant issues with communication somewhere. And I would like We Drive You to speak to how they work with USERV and how that works.
Yeah, I mean, I think that these are very relevant issues. And after we hear from the public, I mean, I think we are going to have a STAR update. I would like some of these concerns to be addressed. So let's. Are there other public comments at this moment?
Roxanne, this
Yeah.
is Edith, and it might sound kind of maybe not important, but with the user drivers, they try to be very nice, very friendly. However, I'm not getting used to be called by my first name. When they arrive and they see me, they say, "Oh, hey, Edith, I'm here. You know me, right?" And I say, "No, I don't know you," because it's not only one. I think I have driven with at least 5 different people. And it's not because I want to be a big thing, but most people that I don't know, they don't call me by my name. Even the place where I go to work, they say, "Are you looking for Mrs. Parker?" And the driver will say, "No, I'm looking for Edith." And so and the other day there was another Edith in the parking lot, and I had nobody there to help me, and they say, "Edith, I'm here." And the lady said, "I'm not waiting for you." So that's one issue that I try to not to be bothered by, but it can be confusing. And the other issue is that one day the driver pulled this is I call it diamond. The driver pulled the door of my building. This building has a keypad that only with the keypad you can come in. But the driver pulled the door very strongly and opened the door and went into the mailroom. And then he got out, but somebody saw him. And this person told me, "I think the driver is looking for you." And I did not understand that, and I made a mistake. I asked him why he opened the door and why he went into the mail room. He says, "Oh, I was looking for somebody to ask for you." And I said, "I always wait for you in the front. And I'm always outside waiting for the driver or in the living room. And when I hear the van coming, I get out and get into the vehicle, or they, meet the vehicle." And I was surprised this person did that. I was a little bit scared when I heard the door opening and the person didn't speak, and went into the mail room. Now,
Right.
I didn't know why he did that.
Okay, I can appreciate those comments. Certainly, they should use your full name when they're looking for you, and certainly, there could be some note in your file if you're always waiting, at the door, or just outside the door, or just inside the door. They should know that. So, I mean, these are all things that could be noted in your profile, I would think. Are there other comments from the public? How about in terms of the committee members? Are there any comments from other committee members in terms of your use of STAR that you want to bring forward tonight? I'm not hearing anything. So what I would propose, we do not have minutes from the September meeting. We will take those up at our November 18 meeting. So let's move on to the STAR update. Now, Rocco and Clinton, I assume you are prepared to give us an update on progress on issues that have been discussed in the past. I'd also like to see if we can answer some of the questions that have been raised tonight. But do you want to share some of what you have in terms of, issues that we've been dealing with for several months?
Yeah, sure. Hello, everybody. Firstly, yes, I do apologize that the September meeting minutes are not available for this meeting. I was unable to complete them on time for this meeting, unfortunately, and I do apologize for that. But I'll have them sent out by the end of this week, and then within the next 2 weeks, you'll also receive October's, and then hopefully you'll be able to review both before the November meeting. So I think the first thing that we would like to do, firstly, is introduce the new general manager that we have at We Drive You. We have a new person who is overseeing most of the STAR operations on the We Drive You side, and his name is Marshall. So Marshall, I don't know if you would like to introduce yourself and just talk a little bit about what you're hoping to accomplish now that you've stepped into this general manager role here at STAR.
Thanks, Rocco. Hi, everybody. My name is Marshall. I'm the new general manager over here at Highland, taking over for Ashley. I have about 10 years of experience operating in paratransit environments. I was the general manager for the call center down in Norfolk, Virginia for a few years. And so I'm very used to being in committee meetings like this, where we discuss everything and try to resolve complaints. We really appreciate having these sort of advisory committees so we can have some good feedback from riders who are actually using the service. That's always the most valuable feedback we can get. We get complaints through the complaint system, but it's always nice to hear from people directly about some of the issues they're experiencing, or especially if they're gathering complaints from other people to raise the flag and help us identify things that we can improve for the service. I understand that you guys have some concerns about what's going on, and we want you to know that we really care about your feedback. We're taking notes, and all the stuff that was brought up with UServe, we're definitely going to be following up with them. And any other stuff you guys have that you bring up, we greatly appreciate. We want to make sure that we are providing the best possible service for STAR that we can. So just wanted to say hello and nice to meet all of you. And I'm hoping that we can make your experience better.
It's
I'm
very
sorry,
nice
where
to
did you
meet
say?
Oh,
No,
I'm,
I'm so sorry. I was being rude. I was just going to
I was
ask what did you call the name of the company?
Highland?
Did your
I
name
think
change again?
Oh, no, I'm
no.
sorry. I apologize. Highland is our office location. We're on
Oh.
Highland Street, but this is, we drive you. We drive you.
I'm sorry.
And
No,
Okay,
you're good.
it's nice
Sorry, I
to
hope I
meet
didn't
you.
throw you all off with that.
no, not at all. Marshall, I just wanted to get your last name because I missed that. What is your last name?
My last name is King.
King. Okay, very good. I'm sorry. I was not aware that you had, become the general manager, so I apologize. But many of the complaints and the concerns you're hearing tonight are ones that have been longstanding from the beginning of the contract that we have here now since last December of 2024. And lateness, what Janine brought up initially, the lateness of service has been a continual problem, and particularly during a rush hour. And she mentioned, particularly during the evening rush hour. And we're struggling to understand if it is the availability of the drivers. The other thing she brought up was not being able to schedule a trip or not being offered times. That should not be occurring. Are these issues ones that you are aware of?
So I'm coming in just trying to hit the ground running and understanding the different challenges we have here. I have heard that there have been some concerns about that in the past, and I'm looking forward to seeing some of the reporting that Rocco and Clinton, I think, are going to present on this meeting about statistics and reporting on on-time data.
Okay. And
Yeah.
sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, yes, we definitely wanted to introduce Marshall today. He has just joined us within the last 2 weeks. So he is, trying to understand everything that's going on with Star. And I think that it was just important that we introduced him to all of you because he's going to become a regular fixture at these meetings, and you'll be hearing from him a lot in the future. But he's still definitely trying to get a handle on everything that's happened with the Star service and that's happening, and try to best lead the improvements that they can make at We Drive You.
And I can certainly appreciate that. I just didn't know, we've held these meetings every 2 months, sometimes more often, but these complaints are that the service is probably generally improving to compared to what it was last December, but there are still too many problems. And so lateness is one of them. The app, the feedback on the app, the way the app works, training of drivers is one that we hear many, many times, not just tonight. So these are issues that are longstanding. So I just want you to understand that, Marshall. I recognize, you've got a lot to, get fully acquainted with everything, but I just want you to understand that these issues have been around for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And Roseanne?
Yes, Kent.
Yes, ma'am. Marshall, about your past experience at Norfolk, did you use the Spare app, the software that we're using?
So most of my past experience has been with a different system called Trapeze, but I was helping out at the WMATA contract about 6 months ago now, and they have recently moved to Spare. So what mostly happens on the East Coast is that everybody follows what WMATA does because they are the pioneers of trying to improve service. And so whatever they do is usually a good idea for other agencies to do because WMATA is always trying to provide the best service and they have the most money. So moving to Spare, I think is a good idea. I think that we're experiencing better service as a result. and Spare is a newer program, and they are very interested in being responsive to our needs. And so we see a much quicker response rate to our concerns about the software than we would with a much older established company like Trapeze, who says, okay, well, we hear you want to make a change and we're going to charge you $1 million for it and not going to do anything until we see the money. So I actually have not as much experience with Spare, but I feel much more positive about them than I would with some older monolith who's been in the industry for a long time and isn't interested in making changes. I hope that answers your question.
I'm glad to hear that. I would say this, we do have feedback on the app, and we're not sure what is the best mechanism to use to give that feedback, because there are concerns, very valid concerns that people are bringing up and have brought up in past meetings. And we just need to understand what is the most effective way to deal with the app specifically.
Really quickly, I just want to say that I do appreciate really hearing about the improvements you would like to see to the app and to the ability for customers to interact with it. Something like the expansion of the feedback system on the application is certainly something that I think that we can work on providing. And I think that so for something like sending improvement ideas on the application, I think something really easy that we could do right now is just create an app improvement ticket type for the Star call center, like a suggestions ticket, where if you call the Star call center or send an email, you can suggest any improvements you would like to see to the application. I think that's something really easy that we could do to if people want to send specific things they would like to see improved on the application. I think going through the call center, like a call or an email right now would be the best way to do that. But I think we can certainly look into doing the written feedback on the application itself as well. I also know that Emily from Spare had her hand up. So Roseanne, please go first.
No, I think this is a great suggestion, and as quickly as it can be implemented, I think that's great. But go ahead, Emily.
Yeah, hi everyone. So great to hear all the feedback. I'm rapidly taking notes, like Marshall said as well. But I agree with Rocco. I think it would make sense to have some sort of passage through the call center. Then it can be passed directly to me and my team to provide that feedback. I just wanted to note too, we do have reviews set up within the app currently, but I think maybe there's an opportunity, and we can discuss this too at a later date if that makes sense. But I think there's a better opportunity to be reviewing, to build out a process to how we're reviewing that feedback, just to make sure that we are acknowledging it and that it's being actioned quickly. So maybe Marshall, that's something that we can tackle together and look into how we're checking into that feedback.
That sounds great, Emily. And see, this is what I'm talking about, guys. Spare is really responsive. They're pretty great.
This is one.
Oh,
This is great.
Roseanne,
I mean,
this is Daniel.
Yes, go ahead, Daniel.
Could I add, I just want to like to add a perspective on this. Well, before the government shutdown, at least, I was writing on Star probably 2 to 3 times every day. So I have a lot of experience, and Sheila might be able to confirm this. I might have given more written feedback or complaints than anybody else in Star. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's something I should be proud of or not. But I do have a perspective on what's going on with the Spare app. If you look at the statistics that the STAR program is providing, like there's like a dashboard. If you look at what it says are the on-time arrivals, that rate is 90%, which is basically the highest it's ever been for Star. But at the same time, people are still complaining about the timeliness of their trips. I think what we're missing here is it's not necessarily the pickup time, it's the drop off time. And I think I know the problem. I believe the problem with the Spare app is how it's doing share rides and matching people up. I mean, I'm sure any Star passenger could tell you this. When it's not a share ride, it's generally very timely that you get to their destination on time. When it is a share ride, all of a sudden a ride that takes 30 minutes takes 2 hours. And there's only 2 people. And like rides generally take 30 minutes. So if you had 2 people with 30-minute rides, adding a little time for return trips for the driver, that's not 2 hours. That's a lot less. The Star app, the Spare app, is creating share rides that are very inefficient. I've had rides that were like I was the first pickup. The second pickup was 35 minutes after me, and the Star app was saying that my ride would by myself would have taken 20 minutes. Like it's doing things that just don't make any sense, so that the driver arrives on time and then have these terrible drop-off times that are close to 2 hours after the pickup time. So, I think everything everybody is saying is 100% true. We need to work on making the Spare app more usable, easier for people to use, easier to book rides. The drivers need a little bit more training, but also the Spare app needs to be tweaked. It needs to be more selective about the share rides it chooses. I would say most of my share rides are bad share rides from the perspective of not just my time, but from the perspective of the driver's time, all the other passengers, and that can be tweaked. We can talk with the developers and say, tweak this. Don't make 2 people share a ride if their pickup times are more than 30 minutes apart. If their pickup locations or drop-off locations are more than whatever, 2 miles apart or whatever arbitrary number we can pick. We can play with numbers. I'm sure their system has some kind of variable in there that controls that we can adjust. And right now, I think it needs to be more restrictive in which share rides it assigns.
And Roseanne,
Daniel,
it's Kent.
Yes, thank you, Daniel. That was a very, very good comments. Go ahead, Ken.
I just want to echo Daniel's comments and suggest that perhaps the reason why the emphasis is on the pickup and not the entire trip experience is because there is an economic incentive for the providers to be on time. If they reach a percentage of 95% over a month, they get an $800 bonus. If they don't reach 90%, they're dinged $800. There's the only other metric about the trip. I think there's one other one, but the main one is they get dinged $100 if the trip is over 2 hours. So we're dealing with it, and we talked about this at the last meeting, the 2-hour window. Now the county prides itself in this agreement by saying they're calling this an index. And I just would like to ask the county staff how they came up with this index of this 2-hour window. Where did that come from? Arlington County is not that large. As Daniel suggests, a half an hour to get somebody, you could be across the county from one end to the other. How did this index get created, and what input did you get from the disability community?
Again, these are very valid comments. And I'm hoping the county staff is hearing them. And I'm hoping that, Marshall, you're hearing them, and the young lady who is involved with the app, I apologize, I'm missing your name. But, I think all these things are really critical. And it seems like we're saying the same things over and over again, but we're not.
And can we?
We're not. going forward in our progress. Go ahead, Rebecca.
I was just going to suggest, can we take a moment for the county to answer the question? Like, what do we have to wait?
No,
Like, who's
we
there?
don't.
Who's here? Who can speak to this? The only other thing I would add too is that the drivers, at last I knew, do not see the times, so they don't even know they're late because they have no idea what time the passenger requested. That's my understanding. And I know, Clint, you were riding with, assuming you're here, you were riding with me at one time when a driver was talking to you about that. So just something else in terms of a feature update that we need to, like, drivers need to be aware. You know, I had a driver who showed up late and he was like, well, my gosh, I was right down the street. If I'd have known that your pickup was 7:30, I'd have been here at 7:20. But they're hampered by the technology that they're using or the refusal by someone to show that information to them. So I'll just add that, and then I would like the county to answer Kent's question.
Hello.
Well, Rocco, allow me one moment, please. Rebecca, to answer your question that you just asked, Emily can give kind of an update on that. That is something that we had identified upon the adoption of Spare, giving the operators, the opportunity to see their next trips. Emily gave us an update on that, I believe, 2 Fridays ago, on a modification that Spare was able to do for the drivers to be able to see future trips. And since she is available this evening, Emily, could you kind of provide that update you provided us 2 Fridays ago?
Absolutely. So on this past Thursday, October 9th, we rolled out an updated version of the Spare Driver app, version 2.73, which does display the next few pickups for the driver. Also hasn't been released yet, but it is in the works. We will be planning down the pipeline to also show the on-time performance windows to drivers as well. So again, that's not something that has been released yet, but it is in the works. It's very valid feedback and feedback we've heard from other agencies as well. So we'll continue to talk about it. It's on my list of feedback, but did want to share that. So that app is rolled out and the WDU devices should be updated.
So to be clear, to put this in like layman's terms for people like me who may not be a tech person, the drivers can see the time that they are supposed to be or will be able to see that if Rebecca Bridges is scheduled to be picked up at 7:30, that they're showing up at 7:50 because they're late for some reason. Like, they're going to see my pickup time, correct?
That is in the pipeline, yes.
Okay,
in terms of a timeline, I don't have one to give today, but this is valid feedback and feedback that I can take back to my team as well.
Okay, we'll
Great,
be
thank you.
anxious
I appreciate
to hear
that.
about that later.
Yeah, of
That
course.
We definitely want to say this is very good news.
And Roseanne?
Yes, Ken.
Roseanne, it's good.
Yeah.
May I ask Emily a question?
Sure.
Emily, you said on-time performance. Can you describe what that, define what, in your estimation, on-time performance is?
Yes, so it is a metric that determines how punctual a service is. Typically, it's defined as a percentage. In terms of like thresholds, that is set by each agency. So it's something that we would work with the STAR team to develop.
Yeah, our current on-time threshold is depending on if you schedule a pickup by or arrive at trip, it's within 10 minutes before or after the scheduled time.
Yeah, well, that's the pickup time, and that's what they get awards for. But that's not all that's important to the passenger. As Daniel pointed out, and I can confirm, it's when you get there if the trip is a good trip or not. If you have to go 2 miles and it takes you an hour, that's not a good trip. So what is your definition? How are you defining on-time performance for a trip?
So
a complete trip?
when a passenger books a trip with Star, they can currently book either a pickup, I would like to be picked up at this time trip, or an I would like to be dropped off at this time trip, right? And the total on time percentage that's supplied through Spare is currently within 10 minutes of either if they scheduled a pick up by trip within 10 minutes before or after that, or a I would like to be dropped off at this time trip within 10 minutes before or after that.
Well, that's news
This is
to
Daniel.
me.
Can I add one insight?
Yes,
Could
Daniel,
I add
go
one
ahead.
insight?
Yeah.
I think this is I just want to make sure we're all on the same page here. Having the on time percentage, being, did the driver arrive when they were scheduled to, when the passenger requested either the pickup or scheduled the drop off. That is a critical piece of information. And we need another piece of information here, and that is drive duration. And I think on time is the wrong term for that, but it needs to be drive duration. What's the difference between the pickup time and the drop off time? Is that 30 minutes? Is it an hour? And that should be a metric that that's available on the dashboard and that we are discussing. So if we look at all of our trips, and it says all individual rides are averaging 30 minutes or less, that's great. And if it says all share rides are averaging 90 minutes, we got some improvement to do.
Right.
So that number, ride duration, will guide us in making improvements.
Now, I thought at one time we did get data on that particular metric, Daniel.
Yeah.
We did get that, did we
Yeah,
not?
I actually have it for today as well, for both August and September. I haven't shared it yet because I had it for the Star Metrics section, but
yeah. Well, why don't you go ahead and share that since we're talking metrics now?
Okay, sure. So yeah, I had some updates for Spare as well. We talked a little bit about them, but I can also talk about those in a second if you would like. But yeah, for August, we had an average travel time of 19 minutes, 19.73 minutes. So that's roughly 19 minutes and 45 seconds was the average amount of time that a rider spent inside of the vehicle. So I can go over the rest of the metrics here.
Does that include share rides?
This includes all
or is
rides.
that just
Yes.
a period? Oh,
That's
interesting.
everything. That's everything. That
Oh.
includes user share rides, single We Drive You rides. It's everything. Because the average time inside the vehicle is 19 minutes and 19.73 minutes. I do apologize. This is supposed to say scheduled. But we had 3,204 completed trips for August. 4,108 scheduled trips. We had 81 no-shows. The median wait time to be picked up was 22.42 minutes, which is roughly 22 minutes, 20 to 30 seconds. And then our on-time percentage for the pickup by or drop-off by time was 94.29. Again, the average travel duration was 19.73 minutes. We had almost 7% of all our trips booked through the app. And the average review left was an 85 out of 100. Yeah, Daniel.
Just a couple items of clarification. Do we have the average travel time broken out by share rides? Like, do we have the average travel time for share rides alone? Or is it only the aggregate number?
We only have the aggregate number, but I do think that getting that number broken out to review would actually be very helpful. So I do appreciate that comment a lot, Daniel, because I think seeing the way that those are different would definitely be really helpful.
And I think
that's my
also
first issue.
Right. I was going to say also to break down the user versus the We Drive You rides would be helpful as well.
Okay. Yeah.
Agreed. I did have one more question on that. Oh, did you have a question, Kent?
Yes. Rocco, is there a
Yeah.
reason, for what reason did you use a median and average on the others?
The median, that is just what is like when we pull up the dashboard for the month, it has the median wait time. It also has the mean wait time on it.
Doesn't have the average?
It's not on the dashboard, but I could calculate it.
I have a question kind of following up on that. This is Daniel again. Regarding that median wait time of 22 minutes and the on-time percentage of 94%, so far as I can tell from reading on the Arlington County dashboard for ART statistics, it says on-time percentage is within 10 minutes of the scheduled pickup. Okay, feel free,
Right.
anybody can correct if I'm wrong. Feel free to
No.
correct me. But
No, you're right.
I mean, that's saying 94% of trips. The pickup is in less than 10 minutes of the scheduled pickup time. That doesn't seem consistent with a median wait time of 22 minutes. That's great. That seems wildly incorrect.
Yeah.
Wait, it was
doesn't
a
to me.
drive time. Drive time 22
That one,
minutes, right,
that
Rocco?
on the slide, it says
It's
median wait time. There is also average travel time, but the average travel time is 19.73 minutes, which seems impressive, but we need a breakout of share rides. And the median wait time is 22, which seems terrible and seems like the exact opposite of an on-time percentage of 94%.
Yeah, I agree with you, Daniel. I had the same reaction, so I'm glad you brought that up. It didn't make sense to me. It's inconsistent.
I definitely agree, and I think that there might be some more nuance to the what it means by wait time. Then, I am obviously need to look into it to understand exactly why. Um, but I will say, to the OTP also includes the drop off time, that if someone schedules a drop off by trip. So if someone schedules uh, a I would like to arrive at time trip, it'll be included in the OTP percentage. I also have September's if you would like.
Yeah, well, go ahead and do that.
Roseanne,
could I clarify one thing on that before? Oh, Ken
Okay.
has a question.
I was just going to say, if you don't specify a time to be dropped off, Rocco, then those aren't counted in the on-time performance. Is that right?
Well, you have to select either I would like to be like a pickup time or a drop off time. You have to select one or the other when you book the trip. And depending on which one you choose is the one it will calculate for the OTP.
Well, I've never heard of that in my life. This is all new to me. and
I've
been riding
used that.
Stars since 2007. But
Yeah,
I don't
I've used
understand.
that.
How do you not?
There is
How do you know when you're going to get picked up then?
there's a maybe I can help Kent on this. There is in the app when you schedule rides, the user can pick, and when you call the Star Call Center, you can pick a pickup time and you say, hey, pick me up at 8, or you can schedule a drop off time, drop me off at 9. After you book that, it will give you if you schedule the drop off time, it will not arbitrarily, it uses some kind of formula and it predicts that the ride's going to take, an hour, and it'll schedule your ride, your pickup time accordingly. So it's a little confusing, but I think that's what it's doing. And I think what the county here is saying is that the on-time percentage is calculated from, whether the user picks a pickup time or a drop-off time.
Yeah.
Was
that's
the pickup
exactly it.
requested pickup or drop-off time honored? And if so, how closely was it? And it seems like they're saying 94% of the time it's within 10 minutes. And maybe the median wait time is 22 minutes because the Star app says, well, if their drop-off time is at 9, I'll just say 8. But if I show up at 8:30, who cares? As long as I get them to their drop-off time at 9. So, I mean, I can see that as a potential cause of why the on-time percentage is high, but the median wait
Right.
time is kind of long because the app is giving the person a target pickup time, and
Right.
the driver ends up picking up way after that.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm curious how many trips are scheduled with a arrival time versus a pickup time. I am curious
Right.
how many of those we have percentage wise or whatever.
Yeah, and I think that is probably very good data that we can get as well. I thank you really a lot, Daniel, for explaining that because you said it very, very clearly. Like we really try to provide, we can't we if you set an exact pickup and drop off time for one trip, um, we couldn't guarantee we couldn't guarantee that both those times would be honored if you were able to set both the pickup and the drop off time, because we need to allow for some flexibility to schedule the rides and dish them out in some way to all the drivers so that everyone who's requesting a ride can be picked up and dropped off. So we allow you to pick either a pickup time or a drop off time when you go to use the service, because sometimes you need to be somewhere at a certain time. So drop off time. And sometimes you don't need to be there at a certain time, but you want to leave your house at a certain time, or you want to leave an event, like you want to leave a party or leave uh, um, uh, a meeting or something at a certain time, and you could choose a pickup time then. Um, and it will always try to get you home or get you to the destination as quickly as it can. Uh, but we allow riders the flexibility to choose either. Um,
Okay.
Madam Chairwoman, I'm
Yes.
sorry, Rosie.
No, it's fine.
I'm like living in Netherland here. I schedule my trips and I try to take into account all of the variables that I've dealt with for the almost past 20 years with Star. And so I give myself an hour to go 2 miles and an hour and 15 minutes to go 3 miles, etc. So I do my own calculations based on my long experience with this paratransit service. I think what we need to do is have a webinar for Star Riders, have all this explained, because people, the riders I know, Daniel may be up on this, and I understand what he's saying, and it makes sense what he's saying, and I understand the limitations of the service, that it is a shared ride service, that there has to be flexibility. But in that flexibility, as Daniel initially suggested, there has to be a reasonable expectation that you get to a destination, whether it's a half a mile, a quarter of a mile, or a mile, and it's not over an hour and a half. I get the estimates from the app, and that's always over an hour. It's often an hour and 10 minutes to get to my destination. Um, Tell me how that is figured. I don't know, but I think a webinar from Spare and um, the providers might be very beneficial for riders to ask questions, learn more about how this works, and perhaps give you even better feedback from our perspective. But this idea that we, don't want to be somewhere at a certain time and we don't want to leave at a certain time is not how people that don't use paratransit think. When someone when someone has to be at work at a certain hour and when you want to leave, that's very concrete. I can't think of an example where I just want to be picked up at an uncertain time and dropped off at an uncertain time. That's not reality. That's not how people operate. That's not how America's transportation system should operate. It's all premised on I need to leave at this time and arrive at this time. Yeah.
right. I mean, I certainly
Do I get?
agree, and we'll always
Well, I'm
guarantee
not
that.
finished yet. I'm
Okay.
not finished yet. So I build that flexibility in, given the constraints of the system. But that's a determination that I make. And I can give you examples. Have before. I've got another one that happened to me. But about 25% of the time, the trips are very, very poorly scheduled, and especially share ride. So that's what needs to be fixed. Thanks, Madam Chairwoman.
Thank you. Thank you. Rocco, can we expect when we meet in November that you will be able to give us a data report to address some of these concerns a little more finely stated, or, specific, along the lines that, both Daniel and Kent have been speaking about, parsing
I
this
can.
data in some different ways? Because I think what you're giving us is too general. We're not getting at some of the concerns that people are bringing up.
I understand, and I can certainly try to break down this information to maybe a little finer information that you're looking to see from it. Um, if you would just please, I would really appreciate if you would maybe just write down specifically what you guys want to see data wise, so I can try to best fulfill that and send me that in an email.
I think that we can do that, certainly, and I think especially with perhaps between Daniel and Kent and myself, we can do that. Certainly anyone else is welcome to participate, but would you two be willing to work on that? I think that's a reasonable request.
Yeah,
I'm
please send me
absolutely
what you-
willing. If I get
Yeah.
if I get your email, I'll send you the metrics.
Sure.
Yes, I'd love to do that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
If you put it in the chat, I'll grab it off the chat.
Okay.
So,
and I think I can.
Okay.
I think I can speak for Kent and I. Kent and I will coordinate so that we can send you a joint email with those.
Yes, I
those
think
metrics.
that would be preferable. And if I'm sorry,
go
who's
on.
speaking?
It's Rocco, but please finish your sentence.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The only thing, I'm looking at the time, and I'm trying to be somewhat.
Yeah, I was about to mention.
But what I was going to say, I really want to hear about how we can give feedback on the app. I believe it was you, or was it Marshall, that mentioned the possibility of having it be an option on the complaint form or something?
That was me. Yeah, totally. That's
That
something
was-
I think we could add to our comment portal. Yeah.
And can that occur quickly? Because we've had these conversations so many times. It seems like we're not getting the word to the people who can make the change, Can that happen soon?
As far as I'm aware, we should be able to add a topic to the comment portal relatively quickly. Yeah.
I've already added the issue as a issue ticket type.
There you go. It's done.
Okay. So that means that when people, now this is through the call center, is that correct? That's what you're referring to.
But now that these tickets are under this specific ticket type, they'll be able to be routed to spare.
Okay.
If you send improvements through there, we'll be able to get those to spare to make to take the feedback directly.
I'm hoping the committee members that have raised these issues will definitely take the time to put them in writing through the STAR system. Would you let us know when that is done, or it is done already? I'm sorry, I'm a little confused.
It's already implemented, the comment type.
It's already implemented. Okay.
Yep.
So Rebecca, I know you brought this up. I think others have too, but let's try to get those comments into the system formally. Okay. Please. The other thing, again, we've spoken about this before, the training of drivers. I know tonight you heard about the user drivers, not knowing that they're looking for people with disabilities, not knowing that they have to identify themselves, calling people by first name only, these kinds of issues. This is for user drivers. My bet is, although the We Drive You drivers probably have been around a bit longer or whatever, but we need to understand what training is being provided. And I hope I can ask Marshall to look into that and how, and you know, people with disabilities would welcome the opportunity to be part of these training sessions. I know that has been done in the past, in the distant past. If it's helpful to have people with disabilities as part of that, we're happy to do it. I mean, I'm speaking for myself. I certainly would be happy to do it, but I know others would. So, I mean, we are concerned about the driver training. That's something we hear all the time.
Mr. Yaffe used to do it every year.
I remember, yeah. So I hope I can put that on somebody's to-do list. Maybe the county can follow up on that.
Yeah, certainly everything that's been said regarding involving, having the operators hear from the riders and the disability community directly, and also, as Kent mentioned, having the webinars for Spare is something I think we can certainly see if we can get that out to the public to hopefully get them more help everyone better understand the new systems we have in place.
Right.
And increase the communication between the riders and the disability community and the operators of the service, I think would be very valuable.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Yeah, I just want to say that it is 6:15.
Yeah, I know. I know. And so we probably have to wrap it up. But I think we've covered some important topics tonight, so I feel good about that. Just for the committee to know, our next meeting is November 18. It's not the second Tuesday, it's the third Tuesday because of Veterans Day on the second Tuesday of November. So we'll meet on the 18th of November. And please give me your feedback on email. Would you, if you feel we should have a STAR meeting in December, this accessibility subcommittee meeting in December, or should we skip December? I had brought up to the Transit Advisory Committee the need to meet more frequently because I felt that maybe that would help us get some momentum and get some answers to our questions. But I also recognize December is a holiday time and people may not want to meet. So just please give me your feedback on that. And anyway, I think this has been a good meeting and I appreciate everybody's participation. And let's see what we can do to improve things. So, all right. Thank you so much. I'll ask for somebody to adjourn us. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Okay.
Motion to adjourn.
Yep. We're done. All right. Thank you all very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much for your feedback and your time. Thank you.
Thank
you all.
Bye. Thank you.